That's right. MVP winner Wilson got caught. A video of her putting down Caitlin Clark and Paige Bucher has surfaced again. In essence, she stated that they have had it simpler than others. When Wilson attempted to harm Caitlin Clark, she revealed her true nature. Paradoxically, she is acting similarly toward Nike and Caitlin.
Is Caitlin Clark currently the face of the WNBA? Yes. Do I think if A'ja Wilson dropped a shoe and Caitlin Clark dropped a shoe today at the very same time, that Caitlin Clark would outsell A'ja's shoe by 100 times? Yes, I think that would be the case.
Wilson said she had endured a great deal this year after breaking her silence. More people than ever before have called my game dull this year. All right, cool. I say whatever. Having to show up every day might be draining, and you might not be treated with the respect you deserve. However, if I am aware of my value, I don't give it any thought. It was just a vulnerable moment for me to tell my colleagues that I could come to the gym and rely on them on many days when I don't feel like myself. Clearly, Wilson had a fantastic season. She prevailed MVP with ease and received more recognition than in the past. However, she is blaming Caitlin Clark for the fact that people won't watch games without her. Caitlin is not to blame for it.
It's like we're not going to be seeing Caitlin Clark play basketball again for another 200 days. An ESPN reporter said at the end of the Indiana Fever Connecticut Sun Game 2 that Caitlin Clark almost definitely will not be playing basketball this offseason. So no overseas and no 3-on-3 unrivaled.
She had a fantastic MVP season and is currently receiving more promotions from Nike than before. Wilson is still dissatisfied with Caitlin's level of notoriety, though. She feels that she should be the most spoken about, as she is MVP.
Wilson was a more dominating player and deserved to be the MVP, and unanimous.
The WNBA's most prominent player, Wilson, has recently become mired in scandal. Her career has been clouded by recent events as videos of the two-time WNBA MVP making some troubling remarks have surfaced. Questions of opportunity, privilege, and race in professional women's basketball have been brought up by the scandal, which has rocked the WNBA community. The friendship between A'ja Wilson and her teammate Kelsey Plum is at the center of the controversy. Many saw Wilson's direct remarks as disparaging to white WNBA players, especially rising stars like Paige Bucher and Caitlin Clark. Many people consider Paige and Caitlin to be the league's future stars, and they have received a lot of media attention due to their college basketball performances. Wilson asserts, however, that their color was a major factor in the chances they were given. She asserted that because they were white, players like Paige and Caitlin had natural advantages in the WNBA. The world is insane. The woman speaking in this video, A'ja Wilson, is the daughter of a professional basketball player and attended a private school her entire childhood. Despite her lack of awareness of her wealth, she is quick to point out others. Wilson specifically targeted Paige Bucher, who is still making her way through college basketball but is widely regarded as a potential star in the WNBA. Wilson complained that even though Paige was still a few steps away from joining the league, she had received more attention and buzz than many other players. Fans, commentators, and other players have all weighed in on the ramifications of A'ja Wilson's remarks, sparking a flurry of debate within the WNBA. Even though Paige Bucher is still in the early stages of her WNBA career, she has already made a name for herself in women's basketball. She is unquestionably gifted on the court, and many have predicted that she will be one of the sport's future faces. As a celebrity guard for the University of Connecticut, Bucher has garnered media attention for her accurate shooting, court vision, and capacity to dominate games with a level of skill much above her years.
I don't play for their approval. I play for God. I play for my teammates, I play for my coaching staff, I play for the people who support me, good game or bad in their opinion. So all that to say, I had a great summer, yeah.
When Wilson allegedly made remarks against her teammate Kelsey Plum, another player who has been crucial to the Las Vegas A's success, the ongoing story of privilege grew even more tense. Wilson allegedly made disparaging comments about Plum, a former top draft pick and one of the league's top scorers. Wilson allegedly implied in these remarks that Plum had benefited from some advantages that athletes like herself had not. Although Plum has faced her fair share of challenges on her path to becoming one of the WNBA's best guards, this was a targeted shot at Plum's career as a professional athlete rather than merely a generic criticism of the league.
Oh, Caitlin Clark, Dawn Staley, the great Dawn Staley, who I revere, by the way. But she was playing the way she's playing now. Well, wait a minute. You know she had the potential. You know, playing amongst other stars, with her marksmanship, she could have made big things happen. With her passing ability, she could have made things happen. Then she would have drawn excitement and eyeballs, and people the world over would have been watching her, which would have assisted in the elevation of the WNBA brand, which would have benefited everybody.
Wilson has also criticized Caitlin Clark, another up-and-coming talent whose performances have drawn attention. After winning Rookie of the Year, Clark was just one vote away from receiving a unanimous vote. Angel Ree received the lone dissenting vote, which caused more controversy. Wilson reportedly wasn't thrilled about Clark being elevated to the position of the league's next big star. Nike, a brand that has historically collaborated with the best names in sports, including A.A. Wilson herself, found itself embroiled in this dispute despite Clark's obvious brilliance. Nike, a multinational sporting goods company, has been deliberate in who it promotes, particularly in the basketball industry where sports performance is closely linked to personality and marketability. Insiders claim that Wilson had voiced her disapproval of Nike elevating Caitlin Clark, a rising star with enormous potential and fan appeal. Wilson saw this as more than just competing on the court. It has to do with keeping her position at the top of the WNBA hierarchy. AA believed that her status as the league's dominant player and two-time MVP might be eclipsed by Clark's increasing star and increased media attention.
Noise that I don't really listen to, honestly, because I'm in season. I have other things that we need to worry about than what other people have to say.
Nike found itself in a challenging situation as a result. Nike had to strike a balance between being loyal to one of their top talents and recognizing Clark's potential as a significant sponsor of the WNBA and important players like Wilson. With her thrilling performances, Caitlin Clark's reputation was soaring that she became one of the sport's most talked about young athletes. Given her attraction to a younger generation of basketball fanatics, Nike was unable to overlook her capacity to draw fans. When this shirt was later launched, it sold out in less than an hour, under 50 minutes. Nike's ugly-ass shirt celebrating Caitlin Clark's Roadie Award sold out.
Somebody coming along and elevating the sport shine ultimately benefits you. Go out there, compete with her, try to bust her up if you want to, and all of that stuff. Just don't hate on the acclaim that she's getting.
They realized that Caitlin might sell more goods because of her personality and star power, especially since she was still dominating the court. However, Nike found it challenging to just shift their marketing efforts toward Clark without creating conflict due to AJ's status as one of the WNBA's faces and a player with a sizable fan base.
Somebody that's come along, who, by the way, I'm going to go there, who happens to be white, and brought a level of attention and allure to the sport it had not received before. And what we were seeing from an abundance of folks appeared to be resentment.
Wilson allegedly ordered Nike to stop actively marketing Caitlin Clark for months. By all accounts, Aya had asked for increased visibility. She contended that as a player who had already established herself at the top level, she should be the center of Nike's marketing efforts within the WNBA, believing that her accomplishments, including her MVP awards and leadership on the court, required a higher degree of promotion. However, Nike eventually had to change their mind after understanding Caitlin Clark's potential market value. After a protracted hiatus, Nike finally tweeted about Clark because of her growing fame and unquestionable talent, which made her a top contender for their campaigns, much to the delight of her expanding fan base. There were issues with this relocation. Although Caitlin Clark's Rookie of the Year triumph was a noteworthy accomplishment, it was tainted by the fact that it wasn't unanimous. The lone dissenting vote from Angel Reese sparked controversy and fueled the continuing discussion over Clark's rise to power. Many saw Clark's lack of a unanimous victory as a sign of the league's divide, and several questioned whether personal prejudices had affected the results. This argument added to the stress since, although Clark was at last receiving attention, the story of her accomplishment was tainted by dispute.
If you really feel like Angel Reese was the Rookie of the Year, then just own it. I don't care. I don't think Caitlin Clark's going to care.
The tension in the WNBA is evident as Caitlin Clark starts to take center stage. Given her extraordinary talent and the attention she has already received, fans are eager to see what she'll do next, but the league's division is becoming more noticeable than before. Once hailed as a trailblazer and a unifying figure in women's basketball, Aya Wilson is currently receiving criticism for her behavior. The position is still difficult for Nike. They will have to negotiate the complexity of this dispute as they continue to promote both players, making sure that they stay true to the principles of justice and diversity that they have long upheld. For yet, it's unclear how, as Wilson battles to keep her position at the top and Clark's fame continues to rise, the dynamics inside the WNBA and Nike's marketing strategy will change.
Agree with it. I thought she would be unanimous. I mean, it's not even close, because I said the most important person in the league is Caitlin Clark and should be a top 5, if not, it should have been a top 3 MVP candidate.
It's obvious that Aya Wilson dislikes Caitlin Clark. Even though Clark has only performed at an exceptionally high level, she has been a target for criticism despite the apparent talent and audience she has given to women's basketball. Many have contended that Wilson's activities, with Aya at the forefront, are a reflection of her concerns about her position in the league and her desire to hold on to her domination at the top. Others, however, stand up for her, claiming that Aya is only expressing a very serious concern around privilege and race in the sport. This triumphant moment, winning Rookie of the Year and finally getting attention from Nike, is bittersweet for Caitlin Clark. Yes, she is receiving flowers, but the WNBA appears to be more split than ever at the moment. What should be a moment of celebration for the young star has been clouded by the reality that she was only one vote away from a unanimous victory and by AJ's ongoing resistance to her elevation.
Pretty impressive for Caitlin to win Rookie of the Year in a dominant fashion when it is going to be one of the great rookie classes in the history of the league.
Angel Reese, who cast the only vote against the Rookie of the Year award, has also been caught in the crossfire. While many praised Clark's performance this season, Reese's vote sparked discussions about whether players' votes for league awards are influenced by personal prejudices. In the WNBA, Aya Wilson has long been adored. Numerous fans have been moved by her tale of overcoming hardship to become one of the league's most formidable players. However, many are now wondering if she is letting her personal complaints influence how she treats other players in the league.
I would have loved to have been valued as a basketball player. I would have been loved to have been spoken about just for my play. I think everybody in the league can say that. But nobody ever let us do that. So what happened? We started to build a backbone.
It's evident that the dynamics inside the WNBA are changing as fans, commentators, and other players continue to analyze these incidents. The future of women's basketball is represented by players like Paige Bueckers and Caitlin Clark, yet they are entering a league where opportunity and privilege are contentious issues. Wilson's remarks have fueled the flames, and it is difficult to see how this will end without more hostilities. Ultimately, the debate over privilege in athletics is not new, and it won't be resolved anytime soon. However, Aya Wilson has been under great criticism due to her recent remarks. Whether she meant it or not, she is now regarded as someone who is actively opposing the advancement of younger players such as Caitlin Clark. Her remarks have unquestionably had an impact on the WNBA, even though she is by no means the first player to make contentious remarks on this subject.
Not perfect.
She's not perfect. She's a rookie in this league.
Although there is no questioning Aya's extraordinary talent and her bright future in the league, this controversy will probably accompany her for a while. Caitlin Clark's journey is only getting started. In the end, only time will tell how this story unfolds. Will these players find a way to unite in the cause of advancing the sport, or will Aya Wilson's remarks continue to split the league? Please subscribe and leave a like if you liked it. There are more videos displayed.